Hi, what's up? My name is Eva, and you are on Cyber Raccoon channel. Today I keep talking about the best online games about superheroes, in which you will meet your favorite characters and even become one of them. My Hero One's Justice 2 is a fighting game based on the anime My Hero Academy. Everything is classic. There are superheroes, and there are villains who seek to destroy the world. But the plot is focused on superhero school children who have yet to reveal their capabilities and prove their suitability for this unusual profession. My Hero One's Justice 2 features a story mode that focuses on the stories of both heroes and villains. The gameplay is bright battles in three-dimensional arenas in 1v1, 2v2 modes. Each hero has his own unique tricks and skills, and their use is accompanied by explosive special effects. You can also test your strength in multiplayer with other players. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have long been a classic that once won the hearts of millions of children. In this game, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo once again challenge evil mutants and their leader Schroeder on the streets of New York. The game has 4 modes: Campaign, Arcade, Challenge, Dojo Training. The player can deal with enemies together with friends in a cooperative mode, designed, do not be surprised, for 4 users. Out of the Shadows alone is not as fun, but you can have a great time with your friends. Spellbreak, a battle royale game with cartoon graphics, but with a non-standard twist in the form of superpowers. The player can choose a specialization: Pyromancer, Guide, Tempest, Toxicologist, Northerner, Sculptor, which will determine his abilities, and try to survive on a giant enchanting island divided into different biomes. Spells can be combined in chains, and in the process of passing, you can pump a magic gauntlet and look for special runes that increase mobility and survivability. Moreover, various features are taken into account. For example, a character moves faster on a frozen surface. Marvel's Avengers, a project from Square Enix dedicated to the adventures of the Avengers. Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, Ms. Marvel, and the Hulk must come together and once again save the world from the impending threat. Marvel's Avengers is a third-person action game where each character has their own set of abilities and skills. Missions are linear, and, unfortunately, you won't be able to walk the streets of San Francisco, the main location. But you can have fun with friends, because there is a cooperative mode for 4 people. At the same time, players can customize the characters and pump them in different directions. Local villains are unlikely to be able to resist at least one Avenger, and when there are 4 of them, even more so. League of Maidens. Imagine that in the world of superheroes there were not one, but dozens of Wonder Women, and their outfits would be much more revealing. If fantasy worked, then meet the free role-playing game League of Maidens, which will definitely appeal to the male audience. Not surprisingly, a very rich customization system has become one of the chips. Local beauties, however, are no different from the superheroes we know. They also have superpowers and fight evil using force and weapons. Spectacular three-dimensional slasher will delight not only landscapes, but also spectacular battles. In the wonderful 101, you will have not one, but hundreds of superheroes under your command, and with such a handful of big-bellied mothers fighters you will have to fight off alien invaders. The unique combat system attracts attention, so your squad can instantly turn into a deadly fist, a huge sword, and other weapons, and fights take on a different scale than in other games of the collection. Another feature is the weapon drawing system. Literally out of thin air, you can draw a sword, firearm, gauntlet, and anything else and equip your charges. All in all, this superhero game is original and can be played with a friend. One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. A fighting game based on the anime of the same name. One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows, tells about the association of heroes, an organization of people with supernormal abilities who oppose monsters and villains. However, in the game you can oppose both the bad guys and your own. Not to say that the game turned out great. Gamers note a bad plot, monotonous locations, and general boredom, and fans of the original series are better off just passing by. However, this is another fighting game that is able to impress you with spectacular battles and the ability to create your own superhero. Gotham Knights. Batman is dead, and Gotham is engulfed in crime. Its successor heroes, Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood, stand on his guard, and together with your friends you will have to try on different costumes and investigate the depth of the DC icon. This is an open-world action game with RPG mechanics, with pumping, with dropout damage numbers, and unsuccessful attempts to beat a high-level enemy. The opportunity to play with friends in a story game set in a popular universe is definitely not to be missed. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Harley Quinn, Boomerang, Shark King, and Deadshot, these imposters can hardly be called superheroes, but when Superman, whose mind is enslaved by Brainiac, smashes Metropolis, they will become the last hope for the salvation of humanity. This co-op action game set in the DC universe from Rocksteady, the company behind the Batman Arkham series, promises to deliver the unforgettable experience of wiping out a superhero team that some gamers are sure to dream of. The game boasts an open world, a spectacular combat system, pumping, and, of course, branded villainous humor. Superversus, a multiplayer action game about classic superheroes in tights and raincoats. Players will have to fight each other using various superpowers. The design of the locations leaves much to be desired, but everything is in order with the action here. The heroes can float freely in the air, throw objects and vehicles at each other, shoot a laser, and so on. There is also some fun ragdoll physics. If your favorite game is not included in this list, write it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel, watch our other videos, press like, turn on notifications, and you will always be aware of what to play today.